have 5 forums at present. We have women's safety that we focus on, then we have a child and youth safety, then we have physical safety, then we have traffic management and road safety. Our objective is to establish the city as a preferred destination to live, work and do business in a safer, more secure and healthier ecosystem. Executive Council that we have, it comprises of police officers and eminent leaders from the industry. While going back from my office, I have 2 hours extra. I can just take care of one junction and partner with the police constable and do my volunteering activity. Well, and all these initiatives you will see are unique in nature. No other city has anything which centrally manages businesses. This is an initiative which is for you, by you.
What is SCSC and what is the major role it plays and what are the problems it solves?
Okay, so I'll take you 19 years back when SCSC started.
Okay.
So thanks to the visionary leaders back then in 2006, when this entire city was growing or started growing, developing as a IT hub at that point of time. 2006, the then commissioner of Cyberabad Police, Mr. Mahendra Reddy sir, he along with the industry leaders and all top industries that were here like Microsoft and everything, they started with the concept of that we should have a security council. The objective was to basically create a bridge between the industry and the police department. Why was this bridge needed? This area was very isolated. The city was far away from here. This was then identified as a high-tech city or something which was growing, right? So there was a need of how do we encourage women employees to comfortably come and work, how can we create safe passages. So, and resources were limited because 19 years back resources were limited, right? So that's when everybody came together. Industries partnered, they provided resources, they joined as members of the organization, paid membership fee, there was fund created, those funds were used to enable all these things. For example, security guards joined to become extra multiplier, so they were trained by the police. So likewise, that was the situation created. Then it was only limited to physical safety, security. Now, as the dynamics have changed, for example, now you have cyber as a threat, right? So dynamics will, after 10 years, 5 years, if we'll be talking, we'll have a different security safety landscape to be discussed, right? So since then, when it started, it was majorly focused on physical safety aspects. But now if you see, we have 5 forums focusing on each element separately with very focused area. Jointly with one police officer from that department is working with us, with the industry leaders. For example, we have 5 forums at present. We have women's safety that we focus on, then we have a child and youth safety, then we have physical safety, then we have traffic management and road safety. So in traffic management and road safety, we touch both the elements. We work on the road safety through awareness programs, and we also partner with the stakeholders, government agencies and all to work on traffic management, because for any city, traffic is an issue right now. Then we have cyber, which is again very important these days, to touch base on cyber crime, cyber security. And then we added recently a forum called healthcare, because we feel well-being is also important. We should touch base upon the well-being of the people. 5 forums largely focus on covering every element of safety security, if you see, from women's safety to child and youth to traffic to road to cyber to physical. So everything is covered in all the forums that we have. And then we have various programs under each forum, looking at the need of the hour, how is the crime trend, what preventions do we need to bring into play. Hence, we keep coming up with new initiatives as needed. We revamp the current initiatives into what is needed at that point of time. For example, Project Safe Stay, which was started a few years back, focusing on hostels and everything, where hostels were getting added. We added another element to it. For example, we said we will audit it more aggressively. It is mainly focused on the women hostels, because that area was not touched by anybody. And being a commercial hub and an IT hub, we attract a lot of talent from the neighboring districts or states, and all these people reside in these hostels. So how do we give them a sense of security that no, while we are taking care of the streets, how are we taking care of the place of residence where you're staying in hostels and PGs? So we started auditing these hostels. The different aspect that we brought in, we said we'll give it a tech edge. We will create a portal, we'll list down all these hostels there, and we'll list down their safety security parameters, so that it's easy for somebody to choose that what is the security parameters of that hostel. For example, how high is the boundary wall, what is the availability of the security guards, is CCTV camera working or not, was the fire safety element there or not there, is there 24/7 security available. That's one thing that we have created for our member organizations and for the citizens who are coming to work here.
SCSC is all about supporting the ecosystem. It's not about supporting only people or the businesses.
Absolutely. So it's, if you see, we have a tagline which says our objective is to establish the city as a preferred destination to live, work and do business in a safer, more secure and healthier ecosystem. That's the tagline that we have. If you see our visiting cards or our website, you will read this. So if you see the elements, live, work and do business. So these three aspects cover everybody, the citizens, the working class and the people who are doing business. If we want to establish as a preferred destination to do these three things, I think we have covered everybody.
Yeah.
Anybody who's doing business here, anybody who's working here, anybody who's living here. And every aspect, for example, we start from women's safety, we go to children and youth safety, we cover cyber, physical. So we're touching every element of it. And we want to get a lot of feedback that what else can we do, because we may be looking at things from our perspective. We may also need to improvise, we may also need to shake our system to look at other elements, etc. etc. For example, Children and Youth Safety Forum, we started a project called Suraksha Kavach. Now Suraksha Kavach focuses on school children. And again, there are thousands of schools, right? Now you can, if I have to go and do an awareness session, I only have 365 days, right? And 1,000 schools. So, and then the holidays and all, whatever number of volunteers I need a lot of logistics to do that. And then I have to also see whether it is impactful or not. With kids, everything is not impactful. No, you have to have a different ways of doing it. So how do we make it impactful? Then, as I said, no, the SCSC has a good forum of industry leaders who come from different eminent background, who contribute to this thought leadership. For example, our executive council that we have, it comprises of police officers and eminent leaders from the industry, who all sit and does this thought leadership, that okay, what do we need, what is the need of the hour. So police will give their perspective, and these people who are again citizens, who are parents, who are grandparents, who are like working class. So our executive council has a mix of everyone. We have doctors in our executive council, we have like realtor developers, we have CEOs, CXOs, we have consulting firms leaders. So everybody jointly makes that executive council. So these thoughts keep coming from the citizens, and that's the beauty of SCSC, right? So you have people from the citizens group, from every walk of life, and then you have police. They sit together and devise things. So it comes out very beautifully. And then when this groups are together, they devise that what is needed. What are the 4 focus area we need to focus on? Is that for schools, we need physical safety, we need psychological safety, we need cyber security, we need road and infrastructure safety. Now, how do we execute it? So it has to be a different way. So we said, okay, we'll make safety clubs in school. The safety clubs will have 2 students from each grade. They'll be called safety marshals. There'll be 1 parent, there'll be 1 teacher and a police representative. This will be a formation of the safety club, and this safety club will be led by a senior student, who could be a 12th standard or 10th standard student, who will be the president of the club. The job of that president of the club will be to run all the activities. So we are also, while we are driving safety security, we are also developing the leadership qualities. Okay, so we created 1 club. Now, what will this club do? They need direction, right? So we created a handbook. This handbook will be given to them and said, this covers all that you need to do. And we gave them an activity calendar, that in this month, grade 1 to grade 5 will do this activity. Grade 6 to grade 8 will do this activity. Grade 9 and 10 will do this activity. Because everybody cannot do everything, right? They have different grades. It has to be as per their age groups, etc. So these activity calendars are given so that they have a clear structure at what I need to do. And we gave them a free hand also, that think and innovate. We don't want to like guide you micro level that no, you do this, you do that. This is a topic. Let's say this is a month of cyber safety. Now for this grade, I am saying you do skit, you do a essay writing competition, or you do this. Now you decide, well, how do you want to do it? So we have given a broader outline to them, while execution is their choice. All they have to do is report back to us that I have completed this activity. These are the few things that we did. and then we can come up with some competitions. We can do something of that kind, like a senior grade students can do a debate competitions, they can do group discussions, whatever. So whatever fits into that, so that if you go on our website, you will exactly see what are the activity calendar, what are we focusing on, etc. And this is like, we don't want to just start something and just leave it there. We want to improvise. So we started with a pilot with some, let's say 20 schools. We said, give us feedback. What else can be done? Have we gone overboard? Do we need to slightly scale down, or what do we do? So that should be the, so because I am not a educator, right? I'm not expert into this. So we called all the principals, schools, we did workshops. We said, this is what we want to do. Are you okay? They said, yes, we are okay. Let's start and see how it functions. So that we have a room of improvement, right? So we can always change, course correct, come to something, etc., etc. That's what we thought.
So you told us about a lot of schemes that are going on, a lot of programs that are going on. I would like to also ask you more about those programs and how are they impacting exactly, and a couple of more programs you would want to talk about.
So we have a very close focus on the road safety. So in the road safety, what we do a lot of awareness sessions. We go to organizations, we go to schools, colleges. We have a different team called TTI, Traffic Training Institute, which is done by the Cyberabad Traffic Police. This team partners with us. It goes to the corporates, to schools, and our programs are curated. For example, let's say I need to address to employees. So I will talk to employees in a different way. Like they need a different awareness, right? If I have to talk to the cab drivers, it is a different session that has to be done. If I have to talk to the bus drivers of the schools, a different session, right? So those way the sessions are curated. And then this team, along with the volunteers team that we have, so we have a team of volunteers that recently we did a train the trainer program, and we trained some 20 volunteers who can be an extended force, right? We cannot touch every place, the requests are more. So these teams go conduct sessions, tell them about the do's and don'ts of the traffic situation, road safety, and basically educate them on everything. There were videos collections that they have, and they are very impactful because they have real-time scenarios. They have access to a lot of accident data, they have access to a lot of, so their sessions are very impactful. So this is what we do on the road safety. And in addition to that, CSR fundings that are received on the road safety, we do a lot of precautionary radium taping that needs to be done. We identify some accident spots, if that something needs to be changed on that, and we need to immediately act on it through CSR fundings and all. We work, our member organization or any CSR partners come and support us. Another important element is the traffic management, which is again very important, as I mentioned earlier. Two ways we manage traffic management. One is that we have a team of volunteers, and these are volunteers are from the companies, organizations who come and get trained with us. We train them to basically conduct volunteering activities on the road. They are provided with our jackets, which has SCSC written on that, reflective jackets, traffic police written behind them. They are provided with whistles, helmets, everything that is needed to regulate the traffic. So this volunteer force comes and support us on any situation that few people do regular volunteering. For example, let's say while going back from my office, I have 2 hours extra. I can just take care of one junction and partner with the police constable and do my volunteering activity, which is recorded and given back to the organizations. That so and so employee of your organization has volunteered with traffic police for so much time. So they can record their volunteering hours in their database, and they may do something with that as a CSR initiatives, etc., etc. So that is what we do, volunteering activities. Any event happen. In addition to volunteering, what we realize that volunteering is again not certain. I may choose to volunteer today, I may choose not to volunteer tomorrow. But traffic conditions may not change. While traffic was increasing, we didn't have enough force to handle it, because force are always limited, right? The Cyberabad jurisdiction is huge. I talk about the IT corridor, it is 12 to 15% of the entire jurisdiction that we have, with more focus of traffic movement happening here. But we need traffic police everywhere. So with more concentration here and more development happening here, the traffic movement was more here. How do we bring it up? So we thought, let's create resources, and we came with the concept of traffic marshals. Last year May we started this concept. We said we will create extra force which will help the traffic police to regulate the traffic. So in traffic there are two major elements: regulating the traffic and enforcement. Enforcement is like anybody who is not following the traffic rules, you enforce traffic rules or laws on the person. But because traffic police was busy regulating traffic, they were not getting time to do the enforcement part. So we created an extra force We hired some 50 people through agencies, security agencies. We trained them. When I say we, the Traffic Training Institute trained them to what are the do's and don'ts and basics of a traffic regulating that has to happen. We uniform them separately. We equip them all necessary accessories that they need, helmets, whistles, batons, light batons, etc. And we handed it over to the police stations. That these are your 25 people. You use them to regulate the traffic, so you can focus on the enforcement part. SCSC sponsored 50, and when industry saw the results, they came forward, and today we are 135 people and multiplying. Every month we are adding 5, 10, 15 because organizations are coming and supporting us, because this is an initiative which is for you, by you. So let's say if industry has supported us with 10 marshals, we give them a commitment that these 10 marshals will serve stretches around your organizations. So these are the things where we, again, as I was mentioning, the ecosystem. So now when we created this ecosystem, now the marshal who is standing at the junction and regulating traffic is serving everybody, the entire ecosystem, whether our member organizations or not our member organizations. But what we can do more is, like, if everybody joins this, we can do wonders. Have a very good, smooth traffic that we can do through these traffic marshals. So this is one of the, again, initiative by SCSC, supported by the industry, working with police. So a beautiful public-private partnership that we have created. And as SCSC is a public-private partnership, it works with the law enforcement, supported by the private entities and supported by the public. We do it. So this was on the regulation. Now there was another problem that we have in traffic is congestion points, which needs infrastructure changes. Let's say there's a bottleneck created, there's a electricity pole somewhere, there's a tree that needs to be shifted, or there is something which was not there earlier, and because of traffic has increased, that is now creating a hindrance into a free flow of traffic. So we started a project called Project Pravah last year. Now Pravah, as the name suggests, free flow. So that was the objective. Under this project, we have a model which talks about like 5 elements. So we said we'll identify congestion point, we'll strategize it, that what needs to be done, we'll execute it. The solution we'll execute, and then we'll measure and improve. So ISEMI is what we said is the working model that will work. Now identify we can. So we last year we also purchased a drone. This drone helps us to actually monitor and study all these congestion points. So we monitor it, we study the patterns, we think of possible solutions, but we call the experts. Who are these experts? These are the people from GHMC, TGIC, the governing bodies or the bodies who support all these things. How it helps is basically, I have a point identified which has traffic situation. I cannot fix it. Somebody else has to fix it, but I have to tell the person. So we call for convergence meetings. So we get people from TGIC, electricity department, forest department in our office. We play those visuals, the study that we have done. We give our recommendation that if this can happen, this will be free. So those things have worked. So last year we were able to do some 62 interventions.
You have mentioned a lot about volunteers, and they are very integral part of your system.
Yes, they are.
So how can one be a volunteer, first of all?
Yeah.
And how do you choose volunteers? Is there a system that you choose volunteers for certain activities? Certain kind of people are maybe more suitable for this particular activity.
How can somebody become a volunteer? So anybody who wants to give some time into as I noted down like 5 areas that we have. Now you as a person know that I'm good at maybe giving awareness session. I'm good as a speaker. Okay, so I can be trained on certain aspects and I can come. Now what you can do as an awareness session, you can cover our road safety awareness sessions. You can do our cybersecurity awareness sessions. You can do make people aware of cyber crimes, etc. You can also do sessions for women's safety. So depending on your interest area and what you're good at, you can, and we don't have an evaluation process as such, but yeah, we basically will assess the person whether the person is good for this, and we'll recommend that why don't you get trained on these aspects, get more knowledge. In the meantime you can do this. People who are interested to be in the field, they come and become our traffic volunteers, because traffic volunteers you need to be in the sun, in the rain, and you have to face all the difficulties. So people, it depends on the interest of the people. So our website has a column where people can just register themselves as volunteers into whatever field they want, and then we can work with them, train them, certify them. So for example, our Sangamitra Margdarshak, all are volunteers. It's a training and certification program. They get trained, they get certified. There's an assessment. So Sangamitra Margdarshak has to be a assessed certified volunteer, while a traffic forum volunteer may not go through so much of, depending on what are you going to support, what cause. If it's a sensitive thing, you go through those channels of certification and assessment. If it doesn't require that sensitive issue, then there's a training that needs to be given. A basic training is given and people get certified as volunteers. But we make sure that everybody is trained and certified. Now there could be an assessment for certain things, there could be no assessment for certain things. That depends on the what volunteering are you going to do. So that's how we devise and assign people onto jobs. Another very good initiative that we started recently is called BRCC. It's called Business Resilience Command and Control. The Business Resilience Command and Control, why it came into effect was, whenever there is a situation in the city, now this situation can be a weather situation, it could be heavy rains, it could be a political unrest, it could be a communal unrest, it could be anything. It could be a fire incident which can be rumored to be a bomb blast. How do we get a more accurate and authentic information to people? So this is what the BRCC does. So for businesses which are running, so example, if there is a rumor created, today that there's an attack that has happened, they will follow social media, they'll not have immediate anybody to respond to them on what is it all about. That's what we do. So we do a lot of advanced information. We publish situation reports. So if you see our handles, SCSC releases a situation report and advisory. Well, and all these initiatives you will see are unique in nature. No other city has anything which centrally manages businesses, tells them what to do, how to do, what are the precautions. We also started I missed that. There's a unique initiative called Cyberabad Traffic Pulse. Cyberabad Traffic Pulse is a service that is given to citizens. What we do is, you can subscribe to the Cyberabad Traffic Pulse. There are routes listed. You can choose the route you commute on. Okay, and you give your number. That's it. It's not a download app or something. It's a government website that you go on. Now what will happen, whenever there is a situation on that road, you will get a WhatsApp alert from the police control room. Wow. Dear citizen, there's a VIP movement from this time to this time. Please plan your travel accordingly. So if you have an urgent thing to catch up, okay, this time I have to avoid this stretch. So that's like telling people in advance what is the situation, which roads are closed, where there is a fire incident. All this, if you see that, I can show you on my phone, you'll see the photograph of the vehicle, you will see what exactly the situation, everything is sent to citizens. So these are like, again I said, everything that we do is impactful on the ground to people directly. And thanks to all our member organizations who have the trust in us, who support us through the membership subscription that they take, the CSR partners who support us on all the things, the trust police has on us, and we have on the police. We jointly work in, and that's what we have been doing jointly. So a beautiful example of a public-private partnership.